Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. A lot of you have been requesting Notion videos. So today I'm going to be sharing with you all how I use Notion as a freelance web developer and as a content creator. So how I keep track of my life with Notion. I'm going to share everything with you all. So let's get started and let's go to my computer. Okay everyone, so we are here at my Notion dashboard. So I'm going to be sharing with you all my entire Notion, so my dashboard and everything I use as a freelance web developer as well as a content creator. So I'm going to add that at the end. So I know a lot of people might not be interested in the content creation part of it, so I'm just going to add it at the end in case anyone is interested. Notion is a lot more minimal and I like it that way. I don't like to come to Notion and feel overwhelmed with everything that I have on there. So as you all are going to see here, it is very minimal. So here what we have here on the side is the side nav, and you can see what I have. So I have my dashboard and then I have my content list. These are my favorites, my favorite pages, and the reason why I have them favorited is because it's what I use on a daily basis. So I have my dashboard, then I have content list, which is what I use to keep track of my content, and then I'm currently working on learning UX and UI design through the Google UX certification. So that is starred here because I use it on a daily basis. And I love reading, so I like keeping track of my reading, so that's why I have this page here. And then this is one of my clients that I am working with, one of my last clients that I've been working with, so that's why their page is favorited. I'm not going to go in there because, again, contract and actual work, I'm not going to be sharing that, but I am going to share with you all this page, client 2, which is just kind of like a template of what I use for all my clients. So you are going to see how I keep track of the work for all of my freelance clients. But let's get started with the dashboard. This is my dashboard. I have here 3 main sections. So I have life, which is my life, my kids, my personal life, and me. Within each of these toggles, there's personal stuff I don't think you all really care about. It's just like school related stuff for my kids, personal stuff related to my home, and personal stuff related to me. Then I have my natal chart. I like keeping track of my natal chart, how things are going throughout the year. So that's that. If you all are interested in that, let me know in the comments and I'll make a separate video, but I don't think any of you will be interested in that. And then here I have my work stuff. So this is where I kind of where I link my contracts. So these are kind of like 3. This one was in the summer, so this one's old, it shouldn't be here anymore. Usually I should archive it, but I haven't updated it. But these 2 are kind of like my last contracts that I had, which were with these 2 companies. And these are hyperlinks, so when you click on that, it'll take you to the page that I have dedicated to that client. And then business, this is for my personal business. So my business that I have, which is my shop where I sell stickers. I have like merch, like tech related merch, which is that my sticker ideas. I have like designs that I want to create for my shop and so on, designs that I've already created. And then desk setup ideas. This is just like things that I want to buy for my desk setup. And then content, which is the same thing that you see here, my content list, and that is just where I keep track of my content creation. That's part of my business, so that's what we have there. And then here we have what are they called, mood boards, or dang, what are they called? Not a mood board, dang it. This is just kind of like to inspire me, things that I want to focus on, things that I want to attract to my life, and these are my yearly goals. And I have these on my dashboard. So become a full-time content creator. I'm still not a full-time content creator. That's something that I'm interested in exploring. Start my own business. I have small businesses, but it would be nice to create like a bigger business and gain 10,000 YouTube subscribers. I still have the rest of the year for that. So hopefully I'll learn UX and UI design. I'm currently working on that, improve my front-end development skills, always working on that on a daily basis, work on my mental health. This is something that's really important to me and that I've been trying really hard to work on. Let me know if you all want to know more about that, because I mean, I think it's really important, especially when you're working in tech. I feel like mental health is not really talked about, but it's really important. And then get my Belgian driving license, which I am working on. If you don't know, I'm an American expat living in Belgium, so that's one of like my big goals for this year, to actually get my license here. I don't really need it, but it's nice to have. And visit my family in LA and in Mexico. I recently visited my family in LA, so that was nice. And then I just archive my accomplishments from previous years here. So you have here 2021, and that is my dashboard. Like I said, I like to keep it simple because I do use Google Calendar for like daily tracking. And now we can go to sub pages. So I'm gonna go to this template that I have, which I know this is like the main thing you all are interested in, is seeing how I use Notion for keeping track of my freelance web dev clients. This is just a template. It's very bare bones because it doesn't have like actual details of an actual client that I'm working with, but this is what I use, and I just created this template. It's really bare bones, like I said. So first is, of course, up in the top, really big, I add the client's name, whatever the client's name is, the company's name, or if it's a small business, whatever, I add that there. And then here I have details. This is like important details about the project, whether it's usernames, passwords, contact persons, links to docs, to documentation. This is like the most important details for the project that I'm gonna need access to fast and often. I keep that here at the top. Then I have design. So whether I'm doing the design, whether someone else is doing the design, whether there's a separate link for a design, I add that here because usually we work on designs before development. So that's why that's there. And then there's pre-development prep. And this can be meetings that you have with the team or with the client, notes from that, or links to previous code, or links to examples of other projects or other websites or other things that the client is interested or that they want to follow closely to. So that all goes in here. A lot of the time I just include notes from when I've met with clients. And then this is the good stuff. This is development section. And this is broken into 2 toggles. This is why I love Notion. You have toggles, and I love minimalist designs. I love when I can just hide things and declutter my brain and declutter what I'm seeing. So we have notes and we have questions. So throughout the development process, when I am working with a client, we obviously have meetings weekly or bi-weekly to talk about how the development process is going. And in those meetings, you have notes and you can include the dates. Me, I just wrote the dates here, but you can also include the date by doing an @ sign, and you can put today's date. But I'm not gonna do that because it's not, they're not real notes, but you can do that and then it'll show the date. And then as the days goes on, obviously it's gonna show the correct date. And this is how I like to keep my notes. So I will put the date so I can keep track of what day it is. And then I'll keep the note. And then from that note or from that meeting, I'll put in a to-do list. So you can do a slash and then to-do. And then you can add a to-do list item. And then let's just say you're talking in a meeting and then the client says, well, you know, make sure that you do this or make sure that or do this or do that or whatnot, however the meeting goes. You can add these here just as you're having the meeting, and then add them here to your Kanban board for like actual items that you need to complete for the project. And then you can just, you know, cross them out like, okay, these have been added here. Or if you don't want to use the Kanban, there are times where it's a smaller project and I don't want to use this Kanban board, and then I'll just keep the notes and the questions, and then I'll just tick things off here like, okay, I completed this, I completed that, and that stuff is done, and we'll move on to the next meeting. So it really depends on the size of the project. So I have that, and these are how I do my notes. And then questions. Before each time I meet with a client, I make sure to go over what I have done, what needs to be done, and if there are any like questions that need to be addressed by the client or that you both need to work out. And the way that I do that is with to-dos. So that way when we're having our meeting and we've addressed a question already, I'll just take it off. And when the client answers that question or we work something out, then I'll just type here, this is the answer, blah, blah, blah. And I like to make sure that these are like a different color and they just like look different, so that, let me italicize this. And that this looks different so that, sorry. I just make sure that the answer that the client provides looks different so that when I go back, it's really easy for me to see like, okay, I had these questions, they answered it here. This is what I need to do. This is what I need to get done. So that's how I keep track of that. And those are like the two main things, you know, when you're like in a development process, it's a lot of back and forth like that. You know, you meet with a client, you take a bunch of notes, then you do the work, as you're working, you have questions, go back to another meeting, and so on and so forth. And if it's a bigger project, a lot of the times we do use GitHub, we do use GitLab or another platform, whatever it is that they use. So if that is the case, if we are using GitHub, if we are using GitLab, I won't use the board. I won't use the Kanban board because it's not needed. I'm not going to keep double track of something, right? But if it's a smaller project, or if the client doesn't know about GitHub or GitLab and they're not using it, then I will use this board. And I love this board because it's really easy. Like, you know, you can add here items that don't have, that you're not sure if we're going to work on. So you can just add it here. And then if they tell you, yeah, let's work on that, then you add it here. And then if it's in progress, you add it here. And then today, and done. So I love how that's like easy to like move along. And this is pretty much what I do for all of my clients. This is how I keep track. By the time I'm done with my clients, this is like a huge page with like a lot of notes and a lot of like links and a lot of stuff in it. So obviously this is really bare bones because it's not a real client, but I want to like put a little bit more detail and structure to this template. So once I do that, I will share it with you all and I will provide it to you all for free. So, but first I'm going to work on it and then I'll share it with you all. So that's what I do for my clients. Another thing that I use Notion for is for education and for learning. As you all know, if you work in tech or just if you love to learn, you know, Notion is great for that. So as you can see, I have here a page. If you go to the page, it's literally just a page with hyperlinks to other pages. And I've been using Notion for my notes since I was learning on Free Code Camp. As you can see here, this is the responsive web design certification from Free Code Camp. And these are all my notes, like visual design, HTML. And this is why I love Notion. This is why I love Notion for note taking, because look at this. Look at the color coding. Look at the actual code in the notes. So CSS, custom variables, applied accessibility. I have everything on here. And then I have here styled components, JavaScript. My JavaScript notes are insane. But I love Notion for note taking, as you can see. And I have here a beginner's guide to DeFi, 100 days of code. And then when I was learning React.js, I used different courses for React, mostly Scrimba, but I have here Scrimba. I tried using Cold Steels, but I never completed that course. So that's another thing that I use Notion for, which is education, for learning. I guess I can share with you all here. These are my current notes that I'm using for Google UX certification that I'm learning for. So these are like my new and updated notes. This is how I take notes now. I love how these notes look. They're so aesthetic. I love to be consistent with my colors and the colors I choose. So that's my notes. I'm gonna do a more detailed video on how I take notes with Notion, so make sure to subscribe so that you don't miss that video. That's coming up next. So that's what I also use. And I'm just gonna add this here, I guess. I also use Notion to keep track of my books that I read. So I have this table. It's not updated. I still need to add some more books that I read in March. So I have that here. So I have here like the type, whether it's an ebook, an audiobook, or a physical book, the title, the name of the book, the status. Is it finished? Am I gonna start it? Am I currently reading? Am I currently watching? The score that I give it out of 5 stars, and then what month did I read it in, the exact date that I read it, finished reading it, whether I posted it on Goodreads. And then I haven't really been writing it on the authors because there's a bunch of different authors, but I also include like the name of the authors. So that's that. And then my content. This is a lot, but this is like all my content that I have. I also have here content for podcasts, old YouTube content, Instagram. I have tags. I have a lot of stuff. And what I use for my content is a Kanban. These are like the no status ideas. So throughout the day, as I'm washing dishes or cleaning, I'll get like ideas for videos and I'll just type them in there. I have Notion on my phone and I have Notion on my tablet. So I'll just type those in here. They have no status. And then once I've actually started thinking more about the idea, they move on to an actual idea. And then I have this section which is next up, which means these are the videos that I'm working on that are coming soon. And then once I've scripted, and I have these tags, so each video can be content can be a YouTube video, an Instagram post, a blog post, a TikTok, or a Twitter. And then they can be a coding tutorial, a basic tutorial, productivity, motivation, lifestyle. I don't remember what is SWM. Sorry. SWM? I don't know. Tips and tricks or design related. And then I have these tags. These tags are basically things that I still need to do for the video. So I still need to look for tags. I still need to write a description. I still need to create a thumbnail. I still need to edit, film it, plan it, all of that. So as I complete each of these, I remove the tag. And then once the video is scripted and planned, it moves on to this side. And that means that it's ready to get filmed. And as you can see, planned is removed because then after filming, I move it here to filmed, then film gets removed. And then once I film it, I still need to choose tags and create a description and make a thumbnail and edit the video. So as you all can see, content creation is a lot of work. Once I finish filming a video, then I actually edit it, it'll move to edited. And then sometimes I'll upload a video, but I still don't post it. So then it'll go here. And then finally, when it's published, it'll go here as published. It is a lot of work, but that is my content. And then this is just a page with my templates. These are templates that I have created with Notion. You can find them on my website. Everything is linked down below. I have a study planner. This is what I used when I was learning HTML and CSS. And this is just like the basic study plan project ideas, where you add project ideas that you come up with. This is a study plan, mostly web development. So this is only an example. You can just keep on adding here. You can easily add more. This is just basic HTML, CSS, JavaScript. And it has, you add the task, you add the course or platform that you're using. And then what I learned, these are like a template that you can use to write out your notes and to actually write like efficient notes. So key concept key concept of what you learn, and then the sub points, and then a quick code example or explanation. And this is things that I personally use. And then a small journal where you can write journal entries, books that you want to read, resource links, and this is really good, just like concepts or things that you want to look up later. And that is the study planner. Then I also created a portfolio website with Notion. This was just an idea that I had and that I wanted to try out. So this is like a really basic portfolio website, tech stack. So I added these images of like what I know. This is really old, so obviously I know more than this now. I don't even have React up here, but this is really old. This is my tech stack. And then a quick about me, a portfolio. These are just images of like projects that I created. Again, these are really old. And then I have my social links here, and then some soft skills, blog posts, YouTube videos that I created. And this was just a really basic portfolio website. And then this is just a really simple dashboard that I created a while back. But this one is really a while back, so it's pretty old. And that is how I use Notion as a content creator and as a freelance web developer to keep track of my life and just to keep everything efficient and moving forward. If you are interested in freelancing as a web developer, or if you're interested in learning how to code, please subscribe. Check out my channel. I have a lot of videos on how to learn how to code for free, different resources. Check everything out on my channel. Links are down below, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.